We usually think of remote warfare starting here, the MQ-9 Reaper. As a primary hunter-killer platform, it keeps operators safely miles away. It carries laser-guided Hellfire missiles, and its targeting system gives commanders 24-hour overwatch. But as air defenses evolved, the priority shifted from dropping explosives to slipping unnoticed through sophisticated radar networks. The RQ-170 Sentinel, seen here, is an entirely unarmed flying wing that relies on its low observable shaping to sneak past enemy sensors. This satellite comparison of the Abbottabad compound in 2004 and 2011 highlights the specific type of highly sensitive reconnaissance the Sentinel conducts. It established the patterns of life necessary to authorize the raid on Osama bin Laden. These platforms succeed in taking the human out of the cockpit. But to achieve that, they require massive financial investment and highly specialized engineering, turning each drone into a massive single-purpose asset. To survive the world's most heavily contested airspace, that level of engineering gets pushed even further. The highly classified RQ-180 features a massive cranked kite layout optimized for broad-frequency radar evasion and extreme flight endurance. The military initiated the RQ-180 project to fill the deep penetration intelligence gap left decades ago by retiring the SR-71 Blackbird. Today, it acts as a secure, invisible communications relay node deep inside hostile territory. Out at sea, drone technology focuses on logistics. The Boeing MQ-25 Stingray autonomously navigates the chaotic environment of a moving aircraft carrier deck. It integrates flawlessly with catapults to deliver fuel midair. That extension of range means the multi-billion-dollar aircraft carrier can stay positioned hundreds of miles away, safely out of range of advanced anti-ship missiles. But this creates an operational paradox. These drones are masterclasses in aviation, but their cost makes them exquisite. They are far too precious to sacrifice. Because drones are too valuable to lose, human pilots still climb into heavily armed jets and fly directly into the teeth of modern air defenses. The military has hit a tactical wall. They cannot ethically afford to lose human lives in near-peer combat, but mathematically, they cannot afford to use their exquisite drone fleet as a physical shield. The solution to this paradox relies on a doctrine called attritable mass. Instead of building one perfect, untouchable aircraft, you engineer hardware to be incredibly cheap, meaning you can afford to risk heavily in combat without breaking the budget. The Kratos XQ-58 Valkyrie pioneers this loyal wingman approach, diverging from high-budget stealth fighters. Its low cost allows mass fielding, and launching directly from a trailer system means it doesn't need a runway. The United States Marine Corps recently selected this experimental platform to transition into a formalized collaborative combat program, securing a scalable fighting force. On the battlefield, an attritable system is brutal. Commanders send these weaponized drones forward to suppress air defenses and actively absorb enemy fire. Engineering a combat drone specifically to be expendable transforms it into the perfect physical shield. It takes the lethal hits up front, keeping the human pilots behind it completely out of range. Building a swarm that can actually fight requires rapid production. The Air Force is testing platforms like the Anduril YFQ-44A prototype to figure out how to acquire thousands of these intelligent wingmen at once. They achieve massive scale with a simplified tricycle gear design, built in standard commercial machine shops. The hardware is cheap, but the intelligence comes from an open system software architecture. This acts as the brain, allowing the inexpensive metal frame to collaborate dynamically with the rest of the fleet. Because of this highly adaptable software, commanders can retask the robotic force on the fly, turning them into missile trucks, electronic jammers, or forward decoys, depending on what the moment requires. Unlike the early MQ-9 Reapers, these new wingmen are semi-autonomous. They don't require a human operator sitting thousands of miles away holding a joystick to execute basic flight patterns. A single jet will eventually take a hit, but a massive, modular swarm overloads the adversary's targeting, shielding the human operator through sheer volume. This entirely rewrites what a fighter pilot actually does. Instead of operating as a frontline dogfighter, the human becomes a tactical quarterback. The physical formation places a single human-occupied jet safely in the rear, while a vast vanguard of autonomous wingmen surges ahead to engage the threat. The human pilot stays back to process incoming intelligence and dictate the broader strategy. The machines are left to execute the dangerous, high-G, close-quarters maneuvers. By shifting the fleet from a handful of expensive, exquisite drones to a massive wave of cheap, autonomous wingmen, the military ensures that expendable metal absorbs the lethal risks of combat, keeping the human operator permanently secure.